It won't be like you're not a part of Facebook. You're not a part of Facebook.
My name's on the masthead.
You might want to check again.
Oh, if you already know the answers to your questions, then why ask?
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
I like the way you die, boy.
I don't want to be a product of my environment.
Now answer my question. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
My boy's awake at smile.
What is up, Film Fixation Podcast? We're back. We are back with another episode where we will be talking about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep. What a wonderful day.
And after that, we'll be doing a draft of our favorite Apes movies.
Yep.
We've seen all of them. And
I have not. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
I
nip that in
haven't
the
seen
bud.
Battle of the Planet of the Apes.
You haven't
right?
either?
No.
Or I haven't, yeah.
I haven't. I kind of got aped out when I went on my
Yeah, that's
run.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I heard it's not that good, but
Well, good.
yeah.
That'll be a safety
that'll be
pick.
the
then.
last one.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's get into the film news here.
Okay. Aaron Sorkin writing a potential Social Network sequel. Don't know what that's going to be about,
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it's Sorkin, I'm down for it.
Oh, yeah.
Sydney Sweeney getting into the ring to portray a boxer named Christy Martin. She's been posting about that a lot.
She has?
I mean, I don't follow
I
her.
don't, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't follow Sydney Sweeney.
Well, why the hell would I follow Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
Kaysen has been telling me, though, that she's been posting. a lot.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
so nice of him.
I know, it is really
'Cause
nice.
I know he doesn't follow her either.
No, he does.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't follow her for the news. But he
Just-
knows. Yeah, yeah. You know what I
Okay.
mean.
Well, that's cool.
Will be cool. Oops, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay, Gollum film in development. It'll be directed by Andy Serkis, Peter Jackson to produce,
Okay.
which will be pretty interesting.
Hmm.
I've heard it's not tied into any of the books. I haven't read the Lord of the Rings books,
Yeah,
but it's
me
like a
neither.
new story entirely about Gollum.
Do you think it's pre-Lord of the Rings or post?
I wouldn't know.
Hmm.
Gollum survives the Lord of the Rings trilogy, yeah?
No. He falls in the pit of fire.
Oh,
in
so it's
the-
got to be
in the volcano.
I was like,
I mean,
something's
maybe
telling
you
me-
survived. I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know. But yeah, anyway. In one of the movies, we get like his little flashback where we see him becoming
Gollum.
Gollum.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Gollum.
Yeah.
He's in The Hobbit too.
Yeah.
He's like the best part of The Hobbit, honestly.
You think so?
That one scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, anything Andy Serkis is in,
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
I don't know about his directing skills, but love the
That'll
guy.
be interesting. I mean, I trust him. He's been in so many motion capture movies like King
Yeah,
Kong,
exactly.
obviously the Planet of the Apes trilogy,
Tintin, The Adventures of
Tintin,
Tintin,
yeah.
bro.
and now this. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yep. I feel like we're missing one more.
What do we say?
Tintin,
Tintin.
Planet of the Apes, Star Wars, King Kong. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Look it up. Look it up if you
Look
want
it
to
up.
know.
Yeah.
Idiots.
We don't need to give you all your news.
I'm not going to spoon feed you.
Jeez. Comment down below.
Yeah. Ralph Ineson cast as Galactus
Okay.
in MCU's Final Four.
Do you like that?
I'm not an MCU fan anymore.
Yeah.
I've left the Church of the MCU, removed my
Really?
records. Yeah.
You used to be the biggest,
Dude, I used to be, the biggest.
the biggest
I'm telling
Marvel fan out there.
This film podcast has really opened my eyes to the potential of film.
Mhm.
And, I've just seen the MCU for what it is, which is
Yeah.
just a money printing machine, which is fine.
And is he going to be like a CGI character? I mean,
That's what I
well,
don't
it'll
know.
just be his voice, right?
Which will be worth it.
And he has a great voice.
Ralph Ineson is, an actor that we really like. you
Yeah.
know? So I think that's a strong addition,
He's got the coolest voice I think ever.
Yeah.
That I've ever heard.
especially in this movie, The Witch.
In The Witch, yeah.
Thomason. Yeah,
All of a sudden.
can't do it. You
Can't
can't.
do it.
Nobody can do it. Huh?
Yeah.
Just Ralph. They named the baby. His name's Damien.
the silver cup.
Okay. The new Brad Pitt movie. I still don't know what it's called. It's like a Formula One movie.
Yeah. Formula One movie, I think that's what it is.
It's
What it's called.
yeah. It's hitting a budget of over 300 million, which is a crazy expensive
It's
movie.
risky.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
we've only seen stills. Like,
Yeah. And
And
like
it's-
stills from the same scene.
yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. Does Brad Pitt have to draw to make a profit on a $300 million movie nowadays?
I don't know.
I mean,
Well-
Ad Astra tanked. I don't think.
Yeah.
That wasn't a box office success. I don't think.
I don't know. It was 2019. It was a different time back then. That could have been.
Yeah, I
pretty
guess that's
successful.
true. But
It was apparently intriguing enough to compel my parents to rent it for Christmas Eve in 2019.
yeah. So you watched it?
Yeah.
How
Christmas Eve.
was it?
I really didn't like it back then, but I was such an
You were-
effing moron
You had
back
no
then,
idea,
dude.
yeah.
I probably didn't like it because it didn't have scriptures in it or anybody wearing a missionary tag because I'd been home for a month and a half.
Oh yeah. His last film, it was Bullet Train. I'm pretty sure
That was
right?
Pitt's last film.
That was 2022.
Yeah.
I think that was his last like leading role.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
That sucks.
That had a box office of 240 million.
Oh, yeah. Then no way.
Yeah, dude. No, that was his last.
Because people were eating
film.
that up. Or so it seemed.
Yeah. He had a cameo in The Lost City, and he was in Babylon.
Right.
So,
Which we
was,
know bombed.
yeah.
So,
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Anything Brad Pitt, you know.
me too, brother. Dude,
Yeah.
we're there for him. Huh? Okay, last bit of news here. Jordan Peele's next movie is a psychological horror set in the world of football.
That's a cool.
I heard it's draft day
concept.
2.
Do you
Draft
think
day
so?
2. Yeah.
Is it going to be about the Browns again? Or no, it's going to be about the Atlanta Falcons
Yeah.
drafting Michael
Yeah,
Penix
yeah.
Jr.
That is a horror.
And it's
Hey,
like
we don't know yet.
the GM, all the death threats he's getting.
Yeah.
The fear of losing his job, and Kirk Cousins is after him.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's,
I just
dude,
gave you that idea.
seriously
Hollywood.
for free, Hollywood.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Imagine a horror movie where Kirk Cousins is the main villain,
Yeah,
the main threat.
that'd be pretty sick. Yeah,
Scary. That's scary.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Is he's directing
Um,
or is he producing?
I think directing.
Okay,
Yeah, it's got to be directing.
that's crazy.
What I was just thinking is a scarier football movie would be the Broncos trading
Broncos.
for Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
And like you could do an Inception thing where somebody goes back in time and they're like, "Don't do it,
mm-hmm.
don't do it," and then we end up with $220 million of dead cap.
But you got Zach Wilson now.
That's true. We got
it's
Zach
all
Wilson.
worth it.
Yeah, best believe, man. Just solidified his number's going to be number 4.
Okay,
Already put in my order for a jersey.
I like that for
Yep.
him.
Yeah.
You did really?
No, but I really
get
want
you
to.
one.
I want a Zach Wilson
Yeah,
jersey.
dude.
That would be
I
hilarious.
like Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, nothing wrong with him.
Nothing. So
He just needs his chance, dude. I feel like he's gonna win the QB1 spot.
he,
over there.
dude, they are. I'm all plugged into Broncos media, man. Everybody's
Mhm.
sucking Nick's dude.
Really?
Sorry for my language. I better mark that. But yeah, they're like, Nick's is so much better. We got to steal. You've seen that Sean Payton clip of like, I
He
was integral.
baiting
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah,
So cringe.
that is cringe.
I just hope he's not a bust. Anyway, if he is, we've got Zach Wilson, so we'll be
Yeah.
fine.
You're good.
Yeah.
Future is secured
Yeah,
for Broncos
it is.
country.
Literally is. Okay, well that's our news. So
Okay, perfect then. Let's get into Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. You know what's crazy? This movie still isn't the most popular on Letterboxd of the week. Challenger's is number 1.
wow.
The Idea of You is number 2.
Okay.
Prime Video
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
with
yeah.
Anne Hathaway. And then Kingdom's number 3.
Interesting.
Just before The Fall Guy. So yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Wes Ball,
Mhm.
PG-13. It's 145 minutes. It's got a 3.5 average on Letterboxd at the moment. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a critic score of 80 and an audience score of 79. So pretty balanced there. And on IMDb, it's got a 7.3. It is starring kind of a bunch of new actors. Owen Teague, Freya Allen, and Kevin Durand, who plays Proximus.
Yeah, I think he's
Caesar.
been in a lot though.
He is, yeah.
From TikTok comments I've seen, people are like, "Oh, I love Kevin Durand." I don't know what he's in.
I feel like
though.
nobody's ever talked about him until
that. I mean,
this has
that's the
come
thing.
out.
TikTok comments are a bad gauge because everybody wants to act like they know everything.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyway,
true.
yeah.
Dude, this has had a really cringy TikTok promotional
Oh,
tour.
Dude, yeah, it's on Instagram too.
Really?
And we'll get into this, but that's partially what made me change my mind on the movie. I left thinking
Okay.
it was pretty strong.
Mhm.
And when I've seen all of the positive stuff
Yeah.
on Instagram and TikTok, I'm like, this movie is not that good. And it's making me
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
And it made me go back and change my score.
Okay,
But
good.
anyway, we'll get into it.
Yeah, dude. The TikTok I sent you of
Yeah.
them trying to be Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya.
Yeah.
It got deleted after a little bit after I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Because I sent it
don't
to
know if I know what
Spencer
you're
and he's
talking
like,
about.
"Oh, video unavailable."
Yeah.
And dude, I just feel like they're getting roasted. Freya Allen, she just comes off so cringe. She plays May,
Yes.
the female protagonist in the movie. And oh man. I mean, okay, so Austin and I, obviously, you guys know us. If you know us, we're big ape heads, right? We love the
Probably
Kingdom.
the biggest.
Probably,
Apex.
yeah. We the Planet of the Apes trilogy with Caesar is probably my favorite trilogy of all time. Maybe it's not the best. I mean, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, whatever.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But this is my favorite.
My
I get the
favorite.
most enjoyment. I just
Yeah.
barely rewatched the trilogy.
Yeah.
Like a week ago. It was awesome. And I would do it again the next week.
Mhm.
Like, dude, I feel like Rise is so strong, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been given it a bad rap, but I loved it.
Yeah, it's
As soon as they go to the Ape Sanctuary and it becomes Caesar's movie, like it is so good.
that's a great point. I think the weakest parts of that movie are the human performances
Yeah.
and some of the outlandish world building. But once it's in there, that condensed story, and it just
Mhm.
becomes Caesar kind of realizing his role,
Yeah.
it's a perfect movie. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you.
So we saw this in IMAX, I think this last Wednesday. And we actually it was an advanced screening, it was a day early,
We have
and we got
Listen.
there.
this job gives you certain perks,
Yeah.
and sometimes,
Mhm.
if you're lucky,
Yeah.
as a podcaster, you get to see a movie a day early.
I got an email, right? I won't say from who.
Yep.
Right? Could be Fox Entertainment, right?
Could be.
I'm not saying that.
We're not saying anything.
We're not saying anything. We're not allowed to say
Yeah, it's an
anything,
embargo.
right?
You guys
Yeah.
wouldn't get it. But
So we get there, get our pop. Some people, got their popcorn and stuff, and then, should we? No, I'll
No,
just say it. Yeah,
no.
we were late. We were like a minute late. To the
I don't
movie.
know how late we were.
Yeah, so we were kind of confused at the beginning.
We walked in at about 7:15. The movie said it started at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows there's 15 or 20 minutes of trailers before every
Yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
We went in around 7:15, which should have given us plenty of time, and the
Yeah.
movie had already started.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how much we missed. Could have started at 7. That's
You
what I
think
was
so?
thinking.
I hope not.
Because Banta told us we don't know what happened in the beginning. Apparently, we missed Caesar's funeral,
Mhm.
which has got to
That's
take
weird.
at least 5 minutes from intro credit roll stuff to Caesar's funeral. That's at least 5 to 10 minutes. So I think
Yeah.
it probably started at 7 on the dot.
Was he serious about that? Because
I don't know.
we would have seen all the original characters. They'd be billed here, like they'd be listed on Letterboxd. I don't know.
Who would be listed though? They could just
The
recreate all of that with the same motion capture actors they're using. Why
You
would
think
they have to
so?
bring the actors back? Yeah.
No, dude. They
I don't
need
know.
the original people. They got different movements. And
Andy Serkis
stuff
was
like
at one
that.
of the premieres.
He was. Well,
But-
he was a producer
Oh, yeah. So,
and like a consultant or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
let me see.
But yeah, so we missed the first little bit. I was disappointed. I had lofty expectations for this movie. And I kind of, I wanted the same tone that Matt Reeves had established with War and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Right.
And I feel like they just made a really dry and like accessible movie to a lot of people. And I just don't feel like they set the expectations, the bar really high for themselves. I feel
Yeah.
like they just kind of made a mediocre movie really focused on the special effects
Mhm.
and making sure like that was really up to par, and that I don't know, like it's hard to put your thumb on like what was so bad about the movie. There were just so many things that kind of just irked me. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, to your point, I want to say accessible is the right word.
Okay.
I think that is the problem with a lot of reboots nowadays, that
Mhm.
the original that Rise of the Planet of the Apes suffered from just a bit.
Okay.
Was they were trying to reboot the original and tell it in a way that was accessible
Yeah.
to audiences who either loved the first one or who weren't familiar with it at all, you know?
Mhm.
And then when Matt Reeves comes in, he kind of puts all that away. Like he doesn't want to make a good heartfelt movie anymore. And this is the way the trilogy was going anyway.
Yeah.
But he made it all about Caesar, all dark, grim,
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic in its finest form, you know?
Awesome.
It's great. But yeah, with this reboot, it seems like it's too accessible. And I was thinking about this a lot, and this is part of why I changed my score. What did you end up giving it?
I gave it a 2.
Which is so funny because you gave Tim Burton's ass backwards movie a 3.5, which is horrible. You need
Yeah.
to revisit that.
I didn't have any expectations for that.
I know, but it's still just a bad movie.
I think it's fun.
It's bad.
I think
It's
Marky Mark
yeah,
with Helena Bonham Carter
Yeah,
in an
they're-
ape suit.
they really
And Tim
kill it.
Roth. Tim Roth did a good job.
Tim Roth, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But Mark doesn't do anything. He's like a corpse in that movie.
Yeah.
He's so bad.
He's more compelling than Noah. I feel like.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you.
But okay, we'll get into it. But I was thinking about this too. So the year is 2015.
Okay.
Maybe it's 2014.
All right.
Don't quote me on that. We get a new trailer for the new Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, right?
Okay.
Everybody's going crazy for it
Mhm.
because they're like, it looks so much better. The special effects look amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Yada, yada. We're restarting. We have a new trio that we're going to follow, and we're going to reunite with our old characters.
Yeah.
You get in, your old characters are never together on screen in that whole trilogy.
Mhm.
Your new trio doesn't have a lot of chemistry. Sure, it looks great, but it's too mainstream and it's just there to please everybody, you know?
Yeah.
But because you've gone without Star Wars for so long, you're like, this is enough for me, you know?
Mhm.
And then you rewatch it and years pass and you're like, this movie is actually pretty bad. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about this movie. I was like, yes, it's bad, but it's 2.5 hours of apes,
Yeah.
you know, which I'm not getting that from anywhere else,
Mhm.
you know? And if the story has to continue, which we want it to,
Yeah.
it has to go in some direction. And I'm okay with the way they've done this.
You are.
Well, we'll get into this, but near the end, I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
So I guess we can get into it now. But like we were saying, the new trilogy, the Matt Reeves movies, they were all about ape-centric storylines,
Mhm.
and the humans were portrayed as the bad guy, you know?
Mhm.
And they were portrayed in a way where we as humans could still relate to their plight, but we
Yeah.
were ultimately rooting for the apes,
Yeah.
always.
Mhm.
This movie ends off where, like you said, the ape characters are somewhat stale.
Mhm.
And so you don't really have a compelling argument to root for the apes. And then the human characters are just downright bad,
Yeah.
but they're trying to pitch it in a way where you're looking for hope for the human race, because the movie ends with Freya, what's her name? May,
Yeah.
getting this information to the humans, outsmarting the apes, yada, yada. And then the humans can connect with each other
Mhm.
across the globe. And it's like, Banta made a good point about if you looked at the apes as the empire and the humans as the rebellion, it could play as like a Rogue One movie, which I hate. Which
Yeah.
he's right. I hate it because in Rogue One we're rooting for the underdog, the rebels, you know,
Yeah.
and their plight. I don't want the humans to be that in this story.
Yeah.
And if the next 2 movies, apparently there's going to be at least 2 more, right? I think they planned for
It's supposed to be a 9-film
9.
saga
yeah.
now. But does that mean
So the 3 that we've gotten
with the trilogy? Yeah.
with Reeves plus this
This is
one, so
number
5
4.
more movies.
Okay.
I just don't see a world where that direction is going to bear fruits that I enjoy. You know,
Yeah.
that's where I'm sitting.
Okay. My issue is I know how we said with Rise, right? I mean, that was a pretty good movie. I grew up on it. I thought it was
Yeah,
awesome
as did I,
growing
yeah.
up. Like one of my favorite movies. I just watched it a ton. When Caesar says like no for the
Mhm.
first time, that was like a pivotal. Like
Yeah,
that would always give me chills as a kid. Like when he did that for the first time,
right.
And I just feel like they established such strong characters in the beginning, like Caesar and Maurice.
Mhm.
People felt an instant connection with those characters, right? And then Rocket had an amazing arc,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, fantastic.
And I just don't feel the same with Noah, with who were the other characters? With
Raka.
or with Anaya or any of those other apes,
Yeah.
really, you know.
But-
Noah just is such a he's so bland. I
Yeah.
feel like he's supposed to be your like how do you say, like the person you're supposed to relate to, like kind of
Like
the
the audience
outsider.
proxy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The audience proxy into this world, right? As he's figuring stuff out, he knows about as much as the audience does, right? Caesar just became such a compelling leader by the end of Rise. He was somebody to really root for.
Yeah.
And I never like got there with Noah. I never really bought in.
There
Right.
is not a single scene that shows his leadership.
Yeah, no.
Even when Proximus Caesar is defeated,
Mhm.
the apes are still not like
Yeah.
uniting around Noah.
No, bro, he lucked out with
Yeah.
the birds, you know?
So that's what I'm wondering. In the first 15 minutes or so that we missed,
Mhm.
are we set up to believe that this isn't, because clearly he's not the next Caesar. He's not
No.
that leader role.
Yeah.
So what is he supposed to be? Is the movie completely directionless on that point, or did we miss something?
because I have no idea where the direction is going.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they're gonna make Noah like a leader, right? Because the guy who controls the birds in this, like the bird clan, right? As they're called,
Eagle Clan.
Eagle Clan, whatever, is the one who controls.
Do you not care about this movie, dude?
Dude, I'm mad, right? This irked me.
'Kay.
You know how upset I was that
Oh,
night,
yeah,
right?
I felt bad. I felt really bad.
No, it's my own fault. You know, I just miss Matt Reeves and I miss Caesar,
I know.
and it's hard to get past that. You know.
Here's one little silver lining.
Okay.
We showed up to the movie, and I was like, "How are you feeling?" You were
Mhm.
like, "Great. I'm so pumped."
Yeah.
I did not feel that way
Okay.
because I've said it before. I've gone on a record
Yeah.
that I think Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is
Mhm.
one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree.
I'll say that until the day I die. I don't
agree.
care.
Yeah.
Okay? We will never get another Apes movie that good.
Okay.
Are you okay with that? I
I'm-
had accepted that going into this movie. Nothing will be as good as Dawn of the Planet
I'm
of the
okay
Apes.
with that. We can get something better than Rise.
Yeah.
And we can get something better than War.
Which is what
feel
I was
like.
hoping for, but not expecting.
And we didn't get either.
Yeah.
We didn't
Because
get
what you got to remember is
anything
Fox,
better than the Tim Burtons.
This was better than Tim Burton's. And I want to
Okay.
speak to its strengths and give it the credit that it deserves.
I just feel like I
But
won't
there's
be
so much to-
rewatching this. You know?
Well,
Like
unless-
it's not a solid addition. It's not a story I feel like needed to be told.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like the pacing was bad. I mean, are you really gonna like pay attention the whole time when he's like looking for the Eagle Clan and he's on a horse with Raka? And there's so much like exposition, and him and May are just like May's just being a freaking leech the whole time and
Well,
just
yeah,
following
May's
them
horrible,
around. And
yeah.
I'm like, we know from the marketing of this movie that she's gonna be a pivotal character.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get it over with? I'm sick of this like this cat and mouse thing that she's playing where she's acting dumb, but we know she can speak. And I'm kind of sick of the way people are marketing movies nowadays, where they give up everything in the trailer.
Yeah.
I knew every single set piece that was going to happen.
Sure.
Right? We knew the raid was going to happen. We knew that there was that scene by the river on the bridge.
Right.
We knew that was going to happen. And we knew that by the ship, the harbor, whatever, that was where Proximus was going to be when we got there. And then we knew that there was going to be like a flood water fight with him and the gorilla, right? And that's the whole movie. right? So we saw everything.
Yeah.
And nothing that surprised me. No like betrayals. No, I mean, I don't know. The story is just so bland. And I feel like I'm let down by a lot of the characters. Proximus, lame. And he's in it for like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
He's got like 3 scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, right, Kevin Durant's a good actor, you know? And it's cool that they went to freaking ape school for 6 weeks. And why don't you just shove that in our face, right? On TikTok.
Yep.
And just tell us how cool it is all the time. And dude, it's just dumb. They didn't even try. I feel like it just didn't work for me. I didn't buy in at all.
So just to counter a couple of the points you made.
Okay.
I think on rewatch, yes, you're right. The exposition and the slow paced exploration of the world is going to be annoying.
Okay.
On the first time, I was like, I really am buying this.
You are.
I really liked Raka teaching Noah about Caesar and his teachings.
Okay.
And then seeing the inverse of that when we get to Proximus Caesar and seeing how he's using Caesar's teachings to control. Mm-hmm. He's not actually leading, he's controlling. And so I think that time that we spent with Raka and Noah was essential for the movie's plot. And I think it served a purpose.
Yeah.
To your point about May and the revelation that she can talk, whatever. I just want to compare it to the first movie that kicked off this whole storyline was Planet of the Apes, the original 60s one. Mm-hmm. One of the pivotal moments in that is when Taylor, who we know can speak, we know he's from Earth. We have been with him the entire story, and we have followed him. He's been our eye into the story. Yeah. Even so, when he first reveals to the apes that he can speak by saying, "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape," that is a powerful moment.
It is.
So I think there's a way to do it. Even if we know something is there, there's still a way to reveal it to the rest of the characters in the story that's powerful, and they did not execute.
They did not. No. Yeah. That scene when they're in the tall grass, right? Yeah. And she says like Noah.
Yeah, you know,
did not hit. Like people were, there was some idiot sitting behind me that showed up way later than us. Yeah, like 40 minutes into the movie. Some girlfriend who was like, "Wait, where's Caesar?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Annoying. Chewing with their mouths open. Like I don't know if you heard them.
I could hear them from where I was. Yeah, 2 seats down from you.
Yeah, yeah, it was ridiculous. I wanted to move. I was thinking of asking Eden if she wanted to like go 2 rows up, you know? But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's powerful and it's something you need to use in these movies. Yeah. When, like I said before, when Caesar says no for the first time, so powerful, right? When Blue Eyes talks for the first time in Dawn, super powerful, you know? And there was just nothing like, can you think of like a powerful moment, something that like gave you chills?
I genuinely can't, and that's my problem. That's my biggest problem with the movie is you can make a world as big and beautiful as you want. Yeah. And you can send your actors to ape school and you can get us to buy in that way visually. Yeah. But if we're not bought in emotionally, then it's all for nothing. Okay. And there is not a single moment where I feel like I genuinely, I've been thinking about it because we saw it a week ago. Yeah. Or 5 days ago. There's just not an emotional moment for me like that. Even when Raka dies, spoiler, as
doesn't
you know.
Even like you don't even know if he's dead, right? Or orangutans like sink. Yeah. Right? I guess.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They do. That's a major plot point.
There have been
Tim
some
Burton
rumblings that like but we didn't spend enough time with Raka.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is
only like 45 minutes.
To your point about the pacing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Raka, and that would have been a really powerful death if I didn't know that it was totally telegraphed. Yeah. As soon as they're on the bridge and they're cornered, somebody's dying there. Yeah. As soon as May goes into the water, Raka's dead. Before Raka starts trying to save May, I know Raka's dying. Yeah. And I mean,
it's so obvious.
Yeah. And without that emotional impact there, it's just totally, it's almost insulting, you know? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I feel insulted.
Okay.
No, dude. So I wrote these notes down. Okay. And I was kind of just mad. Caesar, better than Noah. Koba, way better than Proximus. Maurice, better than Raka. Malcolm, the protagonist. There's the main human in Dawn, and Will, James Franco's character in Rise, way better than May and that other guy. I think his name's like Silvio or something. Sylvia. I don't know.
The William H. Macy guy?
The what guy?
William H. Macy?
Yeah, him.
Okay, yeah. Who's also in it for maybe 4 minutes.
Yeah. And oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just so cringe. Rocket, way better than Anaya and Noah's girlfriend. We didn't get a single character that is better than any other character in the trilogy.
That's a great point. Even like, what's Rocket's son's name?
Ash.
Ash is a more compelling character than Noah.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
that's horrible.
Stood up in front of Koba
for
Caesar's teachings. Caesar wouldn't have wanted this, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think I probably like teared up the first time that happened,
Oh, yeah.
And that was right when Koba like officially turned ape, no kill ape.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it's supposed to be.
Yep.
And Koba just threw that all away, dude. But it's just hard. I mean, I feel like I want to cut it some slack because there's no way to, like we said, there's no way to live up to the trilogy.
If that
give us something, give us a starting point, give us something to launch, like, give us some hope. I just have no hope for Noah as a protagonist, for any of these characters. Proximus is gone. If May's in this, I'm gonna like freak out. I feel like she's not gonna be,
I don't know.
I hope it's like in the first one where we never get attached to the humans because they never carry on to the next movie.
But think about it, all of the good directorial points that were in the first trilogy, they haven't carried over, at least into this movie. It didn't seem like.
Yeah.
Do you think into the next movie we're going to follow that trend?
Bro, get Matt Reeves back. That's how you fix this thing.
Dude, he's busy taking 4 years to make the Batman.
I know. That's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
He could have made this movie.
Yeah.
And still had time to do the Batman.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, dude.
If the Matt Reeves movies and Rise didn't exist, I think I would be pleased with this movie.
You think so?
Of course, it would still feel like a Disney reboot, which it is.
Yeah.
But I think I wouldn't have, even though I said I went in without expectations, obviously when you have that foundation that you built on, you can't go in without expectations,
Yeah.
So, but I just want to praise, I think some of the storytelling elements were fun and some of the homages to the original were good.
Okay. What did you enjoy? Like, because I enjoyed a few parts as well. I'll give it that.
What I did enjoy was the slow meandering storytelling.
Okay.
Until the river sequence. And then I feel like from there, the pacing has no identity. Okay. I enjoyed, to an extent, the human hunting sequence because it was like ripped off the page of the 60s movie.
There's always a hunting sequence in all the movies. Like, it always opens up with a war. I love that. It's so like, Star Wars too. It always opens up with like a spaceship.
It's a great point.
Like you said in the original, they're hunting the humans, right? In that one scene. But in Rise, they're hunting the apes, they're capturing them for testing, right?
Yeah.
And then in War, the apes are hunting the deer or the elk or something.
That's Dawn.
Or Dawn. That's what I meant. My bad, dude. And then in War, they're hunting the humans, right? It's just cool. It's awesome.
Well, the humans are hunting them. We open up on the humans hunting them, which is a cool reversal.
No, that's true.
But yes, yeah.
But it doesn't end up that way.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude, it's just so maddening. Such great opening sequences, dude. Yeah. Like in Dawn and War. It's insane.
But dude, there was probably an equally as good opening sequence to this movie that we just missed.
Maybe.
It's got to be better than Dawn, bro.
No way. No. War, that's the best opening sequence.
You think so?
Yeah. That's my favorite. Yeah. Dawn's my favorite movie.
I just love Dawn too.
I know. Me too.
Like when the bear falls on, is it Ash or is it?
Blue Eyes.
It's Blue Eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ash gets shot later.
And Koba. Koba was a real one right there.
Yeah.
With that jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. What else did I like? It's hard because I'm only thinking of stuff I didn't like now.
I know. Well, let's get all of our nitpicks out of the way.
Okay.
Why don't we do that?
The Deus Ex Machina thing at the very end where the Eagles come, and I guess it's not a true so there was some allusion to the eagles returning to the eagle tribe, right?
Uh-huh.
Eagle clan.
Yeah.
But the fact that in the end, Proximus Caesar is defeated by a bunch of eagles
Yeah.
and not even Noah,
Yeah.
or like it would have been more compelling. Noah doesn't have to be the strongest or the smartest ape, but let us buy in a little bit
Yeah.
because this is a movie about apes, not about effing eagles.
Yeah.
Why are they defeating the main villain?
Legit, dude. I want some ape on ape action.
Exactly.
Dude.
And if Noah can't get it done, somebody else in his tribe come
Yeah.
do it. Or something. Like write something in where
Why doesn't Anaya step up, right?
Exactly.
He's supposed to be
There's
this
this-
pussy, right? Why doesn't he just fight him?
that would have been great because at the beginning he says Anaya's not scared when he's going into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Then when they have to climb the cliff, he says Anaya's scared.
Mm-hmm.
Full circle, he
Yeah.
comes back and he's not scared and he saves Noah. That would have been great.
Great theme, right? Friendship, loyalty.
We're giving it to you.
We
Fox.
are spoon feeding this to you guys right now. Open your notebooks and write this shit down.
It's literally on YouTube. You can
I know.
rewatch this anytime.
Dude.
Yeah, that was probably my biggest nitpick because you see it coming.
Yeah.
When Noah's getting beat down and you're like, oh, the Eagles are going to save him.
So
Which is just so
And he
stupid.
almost breaks out into song and dance, dude.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
The way they call the Eagles is with a song.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so cheesy.
Oh my gosh.
Just-
yeah.
Gosh.
Like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Is this High School Musical? Is it?
I'd rather be watching High School
Me
Musical.
too.
That's a great point. I just hated everything that May was after the river sequence. After she's saved by Raka, she turns into this horrible character where we get stupid, meaningless interactions between her and other humans,
Yeah.
like with William H. Macy,
Yeah.
where you're like, I don't care
I don't care.
if there's a group of talking humans.
Mhm.
And it's to the point where in a story like this, where it's 300 years after humans should be dead and dumb and
Yeah.
not able to talk,
Mhm.
that should be an interesting storyline. That, oh, there's some that are immune to the virus or have mutated past it or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care. I don't want any part of this. You know,
Mhm.
that's a big nitpick of mine.
There's so many nitpicks with May. I feel
Yeah.
like I just don't like how. I mean, we thought that she was going to be from the past, right? I mean, Planet of the Apes is a sci-fi. It's in the sci-fi genre.
Mhm.
You know, it wouldn't have been so absurd for her to be from the past.
Yeah.
Because they allude to it in the original Planet of the Apes trilogy, where in Rise, that you can see on the news that the Icarus spaceship is missing,
Yeah.
right? And that's the spaceship that Taylor was on. And, you know, we never really knew if this was like a prequel or not, you know, but I think it's its own thing. I think that's established now.
Yeah. Well, so when the first movie came out,
yeah.
I believe they marketed it as a true prequel
Mhm.
to the 60s movies.
Yeah.
But then it quickly
Quickly changed. Yeah.
in the next movie.
So I mean, you could have done that. It was so like just thrown in there. They're like, oh, I guess the virus that we'd been talking about the first two movies, that the simian flu that killed 90% of the humans,
Mhm.
and then the rest of that 10% went dumb, right? And then the apes took over. You just like throw that. You just retcon that, right? By
Yeah.
saying like humans, oh, I guess there's still a few of them that are smart, right? The
Yeah.
virus just didn't work on a select few. And it's just like, it's just dumb. I feel like you could have come up with a better idea than what we got.
And even it would have been, I just didn't like the 300-year time jump to that point.
Yeah.
Like
Why'd
I
they-
could
why'd they
suspend
do
my
that?
disbelief if it's a 2,000-year time jump like the
Mhm.
original movie, because then, oh, maybe humans in that time have mutated and have changed
Mhm.
in that way. 300 years, dumb. And the War for the Planet of the Apes, that ended on a point where you could have continued immediately.
Yeah. With Cornelius. Dude.
Exactly.
That's what we wanted.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
And then you could have had some human element, or you could have had the Icarus rocket ship come back, and you could
Yeah.
have played it right from there.
We still could have had, you know, Maurice and Rocket.
Mhm.
You know, they could have played better roles, or you know,
Well, yeah,
or I mean, you know, they're old. They kind of pass the torch to Cornelius,
Yeah.
and we get some new pivotal characters.
I just want to go back on what I just said. I wouldn't like the Icarus rocket coming right after Caesar's death. I think that would be dumb.
That'd be too soon.
But you could play this same movie, have a character like Proximus Caesar, but better,
Mhm.
who is trying to gather apes into a kingdom using a different ideology.
Mhm.
And Cornelius has to nip that in the bud, I feel
Yeah.
like that could have been a good movie with no humans in it,
Yeah.
no human element, and then we see a time jump or something. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And May, I just feel like her motivations were just kind of dumb. I mean, she's supposed to be like the last hope of
Mhm.
the humans, right? And she's just this lost person who's just hitching a ride with Noah, and she becomes so important. And me and you have said this, right? That we didn't like how we want this to be the apes story.
Yeah.
We don't want this to be the human story. And I feel like that's what it evolved into. It was May's story, like
She
half
became
and
the main
half.
character.
By the end of it. And
Yeah.
that's just like not at all what should have happened.
It's terrible, dude. And I'm just thinking now, why did she show up at the Eagle Clan?
Mm-hmm.
If her mission was to get to the Coronado underground base to get that information for the humans, what led her to the Eagle Clan's nest before their destruction?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what does she see?
And why is she following Noah?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why was she there before that? Why is she following Noah?
Mm-hmm.
I
And
just don't
she's like,
understand
she hates the apes, right? But for some reason, she just trusts Noah and
Yeah.
Raka,
it's horrible.
and she wants to just like. And why does she have the gun at the end of the movie?
I hated that, dude.
Yeah, no reason. And it just makes you question so much of her character the whole time. And it's like, why did Noah and Raka help her?
Yeah. A central theme of the Apes franchise is that humans are quick to hurt each other.
Yeah.
And they don't trust,
You can't
and
trust
they're
humans,
evil, right?
Yeah.
So I like that point of, even though Noah has proven his loyalty to May,
Mhm.
that she still brings a gun to meet him,
Yeah.
and he's just completely forgiving, and
Yeah.
I like that. But there also has to be some kind of incentive within the bounds of the story for why she would bring a gun, other than she's just like a stupid, hateful human,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just dumb.
Stupid. And why did she have to blow up the place? Like, they weren't getting into that vault.
That was
They were
another thing.
not.
They're not getting into the vault.
They don't know how to use explosives. They're probably like a couple 100 years away from doing that,
Yeah.
If they've like barely figured out how to use fire,
Mm-hmm.
like that, nothing was getting to that vault.
Also,
There
why
was
are they only,
there's no reason for urgency
yeah?
on that for her to flood the place.
Why are they sending one person to do that job?
Did she get sent to do this job, or
I don't
was
know.
she just like on her own?
I think she was with I guess that's explained. She was with other talking humans, and then something happened where she was left alone and
Mm.
continues the mission.
Yeah,
But yeah, giving them access to that just to destroy it,
I know.
because
And I don't like how the plot changes so often.
completely, yeah,
Because Noah, I wanted this to be a revenge story, like they set up in the beginning. I had a lot of hope from the raid, and then from his like dad, fighting the gorilla.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, this is sick, right? Like he's totally like gonna avenge his father, But then it's like that just gets thrown away. He doesn't even care. He
Yeah.
feels like no resentment towards the gorilla once
It's
he meets
horrible.
him face to face again. Like the gorilla comes up to him and it's like, "Hey, come with me, right? Like I'm gonna take
Yeah.
you to Proximus."
And the worst part is, as the audience, you're expecting that wrinkle to come back in, and it just never does.
Yeah,
There's no revenge.
I know. Well, they have like the fight at the end
With-
in the flood,
Yeah,
but it's like,
but that's
just
like him
thrown
fighting
in
for his
there.
life. He's just trying to escape.
yeah.
Like,
And why is the gorilla? Why does he want to kill Noah so bad? I feel like somebody said this as well when we were talking about it.
oh yeah,
Why does he have such strong feelings for Noah
Yeah.
instead of like just escaping?
exactly. Yeah,
I mean, didn't they just bring these guys in to be a part of their kingdom?
that was the other thing. I did not understand Proximus Caesar's plan. Like, he needed a
Yes,
labor
dude.
force, I guess.
You
But
just want people to pull on a chain, dude. You got enough people to do that.
we see thousands and thousands of other apes encamped outside of there, and then
Yeah.
we're led to believe that the Eagle Clan is almost exclusively working on
Mhm.
getting into this vault.
Yeah.
because there's only, I don't know, 500 apes there.
Mm-hmm.
Not that maybe we're getting too deep into this, but the Eagle Clan seems like they're the only ones working on this task.
Yeah.
He's got a whole kingdom of other subjects. Why aren't they working on it?
They don't seem like slaves, but
Yeah.
they don't quite seem like they're citizens.
They have
there.
no identity. That's the
No
other hard part.
identity,
Is
yeah.
Caesar's people had an identity, even if you
Mhm.
didn't get full detail on most of their characters. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing that I don't really love about Rise or
Mhm.
Dawn, even though it's a perfect movie. Is Caesar's wife is given like no personality, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't see anything. Of her,
Ah.
you know. But that's because so much time is spent developing other characters, which I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with.
Yeah.
In this movie, nobody has like he's got his relationship with his mother and his two friends,
Yeah.
but it seems as though nobody else in his people matters.
Nobody does.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when they're subjugated to this work, we have no feelings for them. It's
Mhm.
almost as if you're like, Noah, just grab your two friends and your mom and leave.
Yeah.
It never feels like he's leading his people to
Mhm.
freedom.
And he caused all this. He is to blame.
Yeah.
He brought Proximus's people to the clan.
So maybe he's just driven by guilt rather than revenge or like a real desire to lead his people.
I don't know. He doesn't feel like I didn't feel any guilt
Yeah.
coming from him. You know. I mean, why didn't he tell his mom that it was his fault?
Yeah.
When he came face to face with her again, you know. But
Hmm.
he just doesn't care, you know. But it wasn't a revenge story. It was supposed to be him getting back to his clan, and then like May's just there, and then her motives take over the story, and that's
Yeah,
so
which is
stupid.
terrible.
That's so terrible. Yeah. And dude, they could have just left in the middle of the night. I feel like you don't need to blow stuff up. Like, why does Noah? May's not going to help his clan escape. I feel like I don't know. I mean,
And it never seems like she's going to, because in
Yeah.
the end we know she doesn't.
mhm.
But it's never alluded to the fact that, like, I don't remember it ever being a point of the story where escaping was a priority.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, those are my gripes.
Yeah.
Thought it was pretty. I'm happy to have more apes. They were good homages.
I liked the raid at the beginning. I thought that was awesome.
Yes.
Noah and his father fighting the gorilla. Thought that was super sick. That's the only fighting pretty much that we see in the movie.
Yeah.
And it started off so hot. And I'm like,
Well-
Noah is going to go on this quest. It's going to be cool. And then it's just all downhill from there.
I think after Rocket dies, it's downhill.
You think
Because
so?
I really liked the direction of Raka being like also a guy kind of flying solo, but being a teacher to Noah.
Yeah.
And I feel like if that could have continued, or even if there was just more teaching given to Noah,
Yeah.
if we saw any change in Noah as he was learning from Raka,
hmm
I feel like that could have served a purpose to make us buy in more to Noah and
Yeah.
in turn the entire story. But yeah, that's just too brief.
Yeah.
I feel like that's cut off too quickly.
You make a good point. Noah didn't really have an arc, you know?
Yes.
And we're supposed to believe that he had an arc with like the stupid eagle trying to land on his arm once.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And then it does, like at the end of the movie. It just lands on his arm. And that's it. That's the only arc. That's the only change that we see in Noah
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie. Which is just ridiculous. Yeah, I have no faith in these characters. Reboot it again. Reboot it again. I don't. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm not going to get it. I don't trust Wes Ball. I think he's a crappy director.
Do you think he'll be on for the next movie?
I hope not.
I
He's
really
supposed to
hope not.
direct the Legend of Zelda live action movie.
I don't care about that. Not even a little bit.
Okay,
I'm sure you do, huh?
I did.
Right.
Now I don't. He's proven that he can't lead a franchise with the Maze Runner. Who cares about that? Who still watches those or cares about those?
Great point.
Nobody. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Thanks.
I agree.
I know you do. So yeah, get a real director in there. Fire the cast. Here's what we do. Let's go another 300 years. How about that?
Honestly,
After this.
that would be totally fine for me.
Yeah. I'm done
Because-
with Noah. I don't care. I don't care about the Eagle Clan.
Go 2,000 years. I'm saying 2,000.
Go 2000, yeah. I want a society of apes. I want this to start
Yes.
looking
Yep.
way more like the original the 1970s versions.
And I don't want it to just be a remake of the original, because I feel like I've been advocating for that a lot, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of the appeal, is it's a complete role reversal of the apes being in power.
Yeah.
Here, it doesn't really feel like the apes are in power. Yeah, great, they can talk, but they still live in tree houses.
Yeah.
And they're not like a unified force.
Mm-hmm.
How are they in power? Doesn't even matter. Nothing matters. Any small human force could come back and dominate the apes.
Yeah.
Which is, I hope they're not doing this, but it seems like that's what they could be building towards.
Mm-hmm. No evolution. I mean, like you said, they can talk more, and they figured out how to use a little bit of electricity on their sticks.
Yeah. That's the appeal of the first one, is they're still primitive, but they have a solid society with like real houses, and they have a whole mysticism behind all their beliefs.
Yeah.
They have the lawgiver,
Mm-hmm.
who is Caesar, right?
Yeah.
And there's just none of that mysticism. I mean, there is, like, they allude to Caesar's teachings and stuff like that.
But like, when they allude to Caesar, if that's the best part of your movie,
it's a great point.
Like, you're doing something way wrong.
Yeah.
Right? It's like in The Force Awakens, and they reference Luke, and that's like, that was the appeal of those movies. And it was so, dry and just like a remake exactly of A New Hope.
It's an excellent point.
This was just like, it wasn't a remake of anything, but it was so cookie cutter, straightforward, bland. And you're just like riding on Caesar's coattails by just like alluding to him and bringing him up, every like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great point. Okay. We might need to go into categories.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Favorite part,
15 minutes.
The raid. That was my favorite part, the beginning.
Yes. I'd agree.
Yeah. I don't think a case can be made like for really anything else. Maybe like Proximus's monologue or whatever.
But it's not memorable to me.
It's not memorable, no. Everybody's like, what a wonderful day, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw that and heard that in the trailer 1,000 times. He's a letdown, I feel like he was advertised to be more of an antagonist. But he's only literally doesn't show up until like the 3/4 mark of the movie.
Has no motives.
No motives, yeah. Just wants to get in the vault. Doesn't have anything against Noah till like the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Just like makes Anaya like his servant for some reason. Like, why Anaya?
Yeah.
Anaya was stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel so resentful when we get on here and we just hate on movies, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, my plan was to
we're
come
fans.
On. Yeah.
We're fans. We're not critics.
This is,
and it's hard for us.
What's hard is this one's especially close to home.
Yeah.
So I feel bad talking shit on movies all the time, but with this, I think it's justified.
For 2 years, we've been looking forward to this. Like, we remember when Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes got announced that they were making another one.
You go look on my lists on Letterboxd. 2024 most anticipated. This is number 1.
Yeah,
and for it to be this, it is really sad. It's really
Sad.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So favorite part, raid.
Least favorite part.
Proximus's death, maybe, or anything when May is like giving the codes to the humans, and we see that whole sequence.
Yeah.
Of them communicating with people in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? I don't want to see any of this. Take all of that out.
That was so stupid.
Yeah.
And they're just turning on satellites or whatever.
I thought they were going to communicate with the Icarus spacecraft.
Are they?
Lost.
Are they?
No, the reply that they get is, hey, we're in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're so glad somebody's out there. Yada, yada.
Yeah. Why did the satellites turn towards the sky?
Because they have to bounce off satellites. The dishes have to bounce off satellites.
I don't know how that works.
No, I'm no expert.
Now I know.
But
what are they alluding to, like space travel at all? I mean, the astronaut on the wall, and they're looking through the telescope.
Yeah.
Why the telescope? Yeah. Like, what's that about?
Well, I think it has to do with Noah first realizing that there's a bigger world out there, which he learns through his interactions with Proximus Caesar. There's more than just outside the Eagle clan.
Yeah.
Because I think one part that we missed was they stay within their valley. They don't even know. Maybe they do know there are other apes out there, but they don't care to interact with them. So they're very isolated.
Yeah.
So by meeting Proximus and his kingdom, he realizes there are evils out there. There's a bigger world out there. And then there's also the dual kind of purpose of that.
Yeah.
Looking into space, that he's just a smaller part of everything.
I didn't need that, honestly. I didn't need them to not know anything about humans.
Yeah.
And call them echoes.
Yeah.
Just thought that was kind of lame.
I'm there with you.
Okay.
So
Alright
yeah,
then.
what's your
So-
least favorite part? Mine's the humans operating the satellite dishes.
Mine's probably just May following Noah. I think that was the most mad at that point because I was like, okay,
This is getting
this
bad.
isn't going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of done. I'm out on this.
Yeah.
And then that just went on for like an hour, you know,
Right.
like Raka and Noah just like chatting it up. Exposition time for the next 45 minutes.
See, that's funny that you were out then because I was totally bought in until the human chase and when she yelled Noah,
Mhm.
that kind of took me out. Then I was
Yeah.
reeled back in and I wasn't out again until she sits down with William H. Macy and they're
Okay.
talking about other humans. Then I
Yeah.
was like, this isn't going anywhere. You know?
Yeah. She just really irked me, dude. Like, just somebody who hijacks an ape story like that.
Oh, it's horrible.
And she's so bland herself.
That's part of my gripe with War, man. Is like Woody Harrelson is kind of going for it too much.
Yeah. People like him, I guess.
in
But
the
I don't
movie.
understand that. Yeah. People like, I see rankings
Yeah.
and he's like one of the top 5 sometimes.
Top 5 of what?
Like villains or characters, even. That's what I've,
Jeez.
yeah. And
That's
I'm
pretty
like,
brutal.
I don't know. He's just really like, I don't know.
He's just going for
like,
it.
Just
It's
cringe.
just-
Yeah, a little
it's just
bit.
a little
I just
too
don't
much.
buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kobo was the greatest villain, like maybe ever. I don't know. Top 100 villains of all time.
We'll do a
I'll
list.
say that. Yeah.
Well,
We'll do a
dude,
draft. or
top
something.
25. He's
Top
got
25. Yeah.
I'm say I feel safe.
He's
calling
one of my
top
favorites.
25.
I'll put him in my top 5
Because-
favorite villains.
because he's built in as oh my gosh, it's just so
The
amazing.
betrayal? It's like Judas.
Well, because it's just like Judas. It's a
Yeah.
great point.
There's
in
so
the
many
first
parallels
movie-
to the Bible in Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the first movie, you think Cobra is a bad guy just by the way he interacts with the humans, and he's
Yeah.
already smarter. He's been damaged and hurt before, and
Yeah.
he looks like a bad guy.
Mhm.
So then it's so much better when he, at the end of that movie, he's bought into Caesar. He's totally listening to Caesar.
Yeah.
Enter Dawn, and he is completely loyal to Caesar, saving his son's life, things like that.
Yeah.
And then that betrayal is just a perfect payoff.
Yeah.
And you don't see that in a lot of villain movies. You know,
I
you
know.
don't get that kind of experience
They
with them. So I
played
think,
it so well.
Yeah.
Because he has that monologue, you know, in sign language, right?
Yeah.
With Caesar and Dawn, where he's
dude,
like,
we got to learn that.
Caesar, I would do anything for you. Like,
Yeah.
you gave me my freedom, you know? But, like, this is all human work. Like, all my scars, you know? He just couldn't get over his
Human
hate for the
work.
humans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh man, his arc was just so awesome, dude.
So yeah, I feel
Can't
safe.
believe
Top
it.
25.
I feel, yeah. Hey, no argument there.
we'll go through. We'll go through
Okay.
one of these weeks.
Okay. What scene would you most want to be there for? Nothing, dude. I don't know.
I know this will be hard.
Yeah. There's no sex scene you can say here. I
Son of
know.
this is really hard. I can't think of one. Maybe climbing to get the eagle egg at the beginning, but we didn't even see all of that. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
I want to like ride on a horse with an ape or
Yeah.
alongside the apes at one point. But
Dude, I'm
like
there.
they were always in danger. So
Well, I
would've been that
guess
cool. I don't want to hang out with these characters. That's the thing. That's
When-
why this category is so hard.
when Raka and Noah are just vibing, riding on horses
wanna be
before
there.
they accept May, I'm
Yeah.
there for that.
You want to be listening to
ape, though.
him talk about Caesar and his teachings.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
but I'm an ape there. I'm not a human
You're an ape. Okay.
because I don't want to be like killing their vibe, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
So
No, that's a good point.
I know.
Who should Ryan Gosling have played?
Proxima Caesar, bro.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
May. No.
May. I like that.
He could have been a better May.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my favorite Gosling movies is First Man, Damien Chazelle's movie about Neil Armstrong,
Mm.
where he plays an astronaut. If Gosling played an astronaut that came back to Earth from the Icarus spacecraft,
Yeah.
I'm all there for that.
Me too.
I'm giving you my money. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I've seen that 4 times in theaters. So yeah, in this movie, I don't know.
Just May. We'll say that.
May, I guess. Yeah.
May. Or the William H. Macy.
Yeah.
That guy.
But I hated that character so much.
I know. He could have been funny though if it was Gosling.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, best quote. Nothing, bro.
What a wonderful day.
What a wonderful day. That's got to be it.
Yeah.
Okay. Last category. What's the last category?
What's the one I always get mixed up with? What scene? Oh no, favorite scene.
Favorite
What
scene.
would you most
Least favorite scene. Would you most want to be there for?
We gotta get some.
I
New
think we got-
categories on paper.
Yeah, we do.
I want. Some
I was
more
thinking
stuff.
about it today. I couldn't really think of anything.
We'll think of something.
I was like, what would our audience like? What do we think about when we watch movies? You know, like what kind of comparisons do we make in our head?
It's a great point.
So I'll get in that. I'll get in that headspace and
Sure,
come up with some ideas next
I'll
time.
pray on it.
Okay, cool. Me too.
Okay, good.
All right. We'll just knock out this draft here.
Okay, sweet. Jared and I are going to dinner with some friends, so we have to hurry.
Yep. Okay.
Why didn't you sound very excited about that,
No, I was just looking up.
dude? You
I
don't
am
have to come.
excited.
You don't
dude.
have to come if you don't
Shut
want
up,
to.
dude.
Yes.
I love those guys. I want to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, want me to flip a coin?
Yeah. Why don't you? Why don't you, coin boy?
Oh. Okay. What's yours? Tails again?
Tails. Yeah.
Yeah, idiot. It's heads.
Come
Get shit on.
dude.
Sorry.
That's messed up.
Oh, that makes me so happy, dude. That's an
You
easy-
won.
I know. Seriously, whoever gets the first in this one,
Let's do snake.
between
Make it
two,
more fair.
between two people.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
I'll take
good.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay. We love that.
Yeah,
We'll do a deep dive on Dawn one of these days.
Yeah, that's got to be like our 100th episode or 50th. We're coming up on 50.
Yeah. We are. We're at like 30.
We're at 38, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Since you did that, I'm gonna take War for the Planet of the Apes. A close second. Not really close.
Yeah.
Dawn's in its own tier.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. War is awesome though. Super, super sick. Caesar like totally fleshed out as a character.
Yeah.
And just becomes this amazing, amazing protagonist.
Right.
So I'm gonna take War, and then after that, I'm gonna take Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Of course.
So this trilogy is no longer draftable. Okay. Rise is awesome, dude. I loved it as a kid.
Mhm.
Caesar, this is one of those movies I feel like we went camping as a family all the time. And we had like 10 movies that were always in our trailer.
Uh-huh.
So every time we went camping, we'd like watch a few of these movies. I probably watched like Rise of the Planet of the Apes like twice a year.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was always
Jeez.
picking that. So
Yeah. Okay, money.
So it's awesome. Yeah. Love this one.
I think that's a great pick.
And it's one of those ones we look back on more fondly because Dawn and War are so great.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I don't really think that'll happen with Kingdom, but we'll see.
Well, yeah,
Right.
to that point, if the direction of Rise would have continued, I think it would have been a pretty weak trilogy.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
I feel like Caesar was strong. He was a strong character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can see the trail of
Yeah.
what he's going to become. but-
Exactly. So, okay.
Okay.
My pick.
Your 2 picks now.
Okay, I'm going to take Planet of the Apes,
Okay. The OG.
the OG,
1968.
1968, starring Charlton Heston and freaking, what is her name? Nova's name.
I don't know. She's hot
Gosh,
though.
she is so. Linda Harrison.
Yeah, dude.
Gosh, it's insane.
Jeez.
Especially in Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. That second movie, I'm like, gosh,
Oh my goodness.
she's still bringing it.
Yeah.
I first watched this. I used to watch Futurama when I was a kid. So I was
Mhm.
actually introduced to this movie before Rise
Mhm.
because Futurama always referenced this movie. And I was like, oh, I want to check it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just loved it. I thought it was so funny, so cool.
Mhm.
And even back then, I was like, this Nova girl, holy cow.
I know.
Okay, so Planet of the Apes. And then,
Isn't she on the poster in one of the greatest movies ever? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Why can't I think of it?
No. Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank
That's not her.
Redemption.
That's
Okay.
not her. That is,
Somebody
is
else.
that Raquel Welch? Is that
I
somebody
think,
who's
like,
totally
that's
not?
what they're saying. Yeah. Sounds familiar. But she's in like a caveman.
Rita
outfit or
Hayworth.
whatever.
Who the hell is
Rita
Raquel
Hayworth.
Welch? Hopefully that's not like a...
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, but Raquel Welch is in 1 Million Years BC, and the poster for that is very similar
It is
to what
okay.
I'm thinking. Okay, that's my
These
bad.
we just know these classic posters. Wait, what? What are you looking up?
Well, because okay, there's got to be another. When I looked up Shawshank Redemption poster, it came up with Raquel Welch,
Raquel Welch.
but then there's this other one, which is Rita Hayworth, which is actually in the movie. I was confused there for a second. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
Okay, my next pick is going to be Conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
So we're first introduced to Caesar.
Yep. It's my favorite one too.
And again, this is in the original storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So
Conquest came out in 1972.
yeah.
This Rise is based off of Conquest a lot. So Caesar, who his name was, I think, Cornelius, but he changed his name, right?
I can't remember.
Because
Because Cornelius is his dad.
He's Nova's son, right?
No, he's Zira's son.
Zira's son. That's
Yeah.
what I meant. Yeah, Zira. And what was the other guy's
Cornelius.
name? Yeah, Zira and Cornelius' son. They named him something else, but he renamed himself Caesar in this
Right.
one. But yeah, so he's like the only ape that can still talk, right? And then apes in this world are like slaves, which is weird. It's kind of weird.
I think the first, and these movies, all of them are like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
They're really short. The first 45 minutes, I'm like,
this isn't really.
but the last
politically
45
correct.
where Caesar is getting the apes all together, and then the final battle,
Yeah.
just great.
Do you
I
watch
think
the
it's-
unrated version?
No, I didn't. But
No,
I
you
read
didn't.
yours and Nick's review right after, and I was like, gosh, I didn't even know that existed.
He watched the unrated version.
Yeah.
I watched like the unrated, like last little bit where they have the conquest,
Right.
You know, like where they overthrow the humans, but it was super bloody, like bro,
Really?
like it was crazy because this is a PG movie,
Right.
and it was
different back then,
insane, yeah. And there's an alternate ending.
Mhm.
Alternate ending's way more sick.
Okay.
Like
I'll have to
I
look
don't
into
know.
it.
I don't feel like any of our listeners are gonna go back, but there's like one where he decides not to kill the humans,
Uh-huh.
and that's like the version that they went through.
Yeah, let's see.
And
Yeah.
then there's another where they end up like just killing the humans
Oh,
and taking
awesome.
over. It's awesome. And that's like what should have happened because Caesar's whole speech, his monologue's awesome.
Yeah, it's
You
great.
remember.
It's
Yeah.
killer. Yeah.
It should lead to them like dying. And then he like totally pivots at the end there.
That's what I really hate is the black guy in the movie.
Mhm.
They've had all of these like slavery comparisons,
Yeah.
and they're almost equating black people to these apes, which is horrible.
yeah. There's an ape auction.
Yeah,
At
it's
one
insane.
point.
But the black guy is the one who like talks sense into Caesar.
Mhm.
It's like, man, you're towing a very fine line here.
Yeah,
I don't know. But anyway,
it is. Yeah.
okay.
Still an awesome movie.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, you're next too.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to take.
Oh, Tim Burton's? Oh gosh, I guess you'll have to take it.
I know. I'm gonna take Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I liked this one. It's the direct sequel to Planet of the Apes, the original, so it's number 2 of 5. And I just remember liking it at the time that I watched it.
Yeah.
I understand it's really strange. It gets super strange the last little bit. But I liked how similar it was to the beginning. I feel like it had the same vibe, you know?
Yeah.
But it was also like a new story, like a completely new story. It was a bit too strange, you know, with the people who are living underground and they take off their faces and
Yeah.
they have like the weirding way or whatever, you know?
I just feel like there could have been, there's so much potential. I think that's an awesome storyline
Yeah.
of like a church that worships a nuclear
The
bomb.
Nuclear bomb, yeah.
But I think it's just really silly.
Yeah. And Charlton Heston should have led that movie.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to be in it.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
He like,
It seems that way because he's in it for like 15 minutes. but-
Sequels were really bad,
Mm.
like at the time in 1970s, right? They never worked.
Right.
But Apes was such a success that Planet of the Apes, you know, that they just needed to make more and more sequels. So Charlton Heston finally, like, they just threw so much money at him that he's
Mhm.
like, I'll do a cameo at the beginning, but I want to die
Yeah.
quickly, right? And then they were like, this doesn't really work. They wrote the story. and they were like, okay, how about you show up at the end and then you die? And he's like, okay, it's like kind of the same thing or whatever. And he like had influence on the script, that the atomic bomb explodes, so he's like, okay, that'll be the end of it. No more of these, because he wanted just to be over.
Done. Yeah.
But no, then they made 3 more after that.
Yeah.
But they're fun. They're a good time.
Okay.
So,
Sick.
So I got that one. Then I'm going to take Planet of the Apes, Tim Burton.
Wow.
Yep.
That's actually, I'm totally, wow.
You good with that?
I got every pick I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, no, whatever, dude.
Wait, because how many are we doing? Because
5. You get the one that we haven't seen or whatever.
Well, because I still have 2 on the board that I have seen. Because you've got War, Rise, Beneath, Planet.
Yeah, what's
Tim Burton's.
left?
So then there's still the one we haven't seen, Kingdom and Escape.
Oh, I want Escape.
Well, you took.
Sorry.
I already typed
Nope.
it in.
Come on, let me take Escape. It didn't show up here on Letterboxd.
Gosh, that's the one I wanted. I really like. I like Escape more than you do.
No, I want Escape.
Okay, jerk.
You know what? No, I'll take Tim Burton's.
Yeah, you're a Tim Burton apologist,
I'll
bro.
take that.
Okay.
I want to be an advocate for this movie.
Okay.
Because I think it's cool. I think it balances the story pretty well.
Yeah.
With like Mark Wahlberg and the time travel.
It's
and the apes showing up, and then there's a twist at the end,
which is so stupid,
that the mothership landed way early.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool, man.
Well, okay, actually, that part where the mothership landed before them, I think that is cool.
Yeah, I was just so high on apes, like
yeah.
And I had watched the original ones, and I'm like, okay, this is a bit more modern, a bit more fun, more entertaining.
It's like, not nearly as entertaining, though.
I think it is.
There's
something to be said about pacing in 1970s movies,
But I prefer that to whatever Planet of the Apes.
I like that. 2000, like it was still pretty good. Like a little bit more entertaining, but like the pacing was still like kind of, I don't know.
I don't know if it's anymore.
It's not quite like
it is
today,
not nearly
where it's
as
like
entertaining.
Quick cut, every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But whatever, dude. You can be a hater.
I am. I hate this movie.
You hate Wahlberg. And
dude,
okay, we know. You don't have to.
I just didn't know if he knew because you.
Okay, yeah, I know.
It's just such a bad movie.
It's okay. One girl's hot. She's in Kangaroo Jack.
I know. She's one of your experience with the Apes movies. I used to watch Kangaroo Jack every other day.
Really?
Seriously.
I've watched that a bunch. Too. Yeah.
And so when I saw her, I was like, "That's Kangaroo Jack, girl."
Yeah.
Looked and I was like,
Me
"Oh
too.
my gosh." Yeah, she was probably one of my sexual awakening. Why wasn't she bigger, dude? She was so hot.
Know. She was.
Those are like the 2 movies she's in, and then everything else is garbage. And those movies were garbage too. But
yeah, that's true.
She's insanely hot for 2000.
I know.
Okay, so
that's my. We'll just do 4 each then.
Okay,
you can leave one.
Then I'll take. I think I would usually take Kingdom over Escape.
Yeah, but we've been
yeah,
crapping on it this whole time. So
Escape is really fun. It's really campy.
Mm-hmm.
Cornelius and Zira show up to modern day for a couple of years in the future. I think it's like 1978 or something. Yeah. But they become these like fish out of water celebrities in the human world, and it's really funny. There are a lot of funny sequences in there, and then it turns to tragedy. I won't spoil it. I think that one's worth the watch.
Too many humans, though, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's totally lost its identity, but it's a total tone shift that I think works for me for an entertainment value.
Mm-hmm. It's set up for like a sitcom too.
Exactly.
I feel like that's what the TV show was Cornelius and Zira on Earth. But.
Yeah. So okay, that's ours. I've got Dawn, the original Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Okay. Jaren
has War, Rise, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I like that. Let us know who won in the comments.
Nobody's seen any of those.
Thank you guys for listening. This Thursday, we will be doing a draft of our favorite movies from 1996. We will have our friends Parker Banta and Kason Garrett on to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We've been grinding. We've been watching a ton of 1996 movies. We found some gems. And we're excited to do that draft here with you guys.
Yeah,
so
it'll be good. And sorry to our viewers for having Kason back on. I know that's not a popular decision.
It's been
But we thought
really
it was
means
right.
a lot to him.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Make-A-Wish thing.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your guys' patience.
Mm-hmm.
We might release a version where we just cut him out.
You
I
think so?
Just me, you, and Banta.
Yeah.
It'll take some editing work, but we can do it.
Okay.
So, for our fans.
For the fans, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much for listening, you fixators. Good night.